Arrivederci, my friend.
Greetings, comrade.
Hello, comrade.
How are you today, Ty? I'm calling from Kiev, and I'm just wanting to tell you that my subway location has been bombed. I'm outside. And that's the current state. How are you, Ty?
What a tragedy! A missile dropped on your missile. A submarine missile on your submarine sandwich.
Absolutely tragic. I must tell you that I am not calling as Eric today. My name is Vlad, and I'm pleased to meet you, Ty.
Nice to meet you too. You are my sandwich comrade for the day. We'll make an order maybe together.
Yes.
You are so good at that voice, Eric. If I didn't know any better, I think you are an immigrant from Eastern Europe.
Who is this Eric you mentioned?
Sorry, Vlad.
Are you hungry, Ty? Did you have a lunch time yet today?
I am very hungry. I'm Rob fiending for a burger or a sandwich or something.
Who is this Rob Fiend?
Well, Vlad, Rob Feeney is the infamous head chef of Cactus Club Cafe's establishments. You have to live in North America to be a member of this club.
You give head to chef in North America?
We give them whatever they need, Eric. We give them whatever they need.
They don't make a living wage in North America, so we give chef head. Oh dear!
Wow, you did. That was a great bit. Was that just right off the dome?
Yeah, I'm out of breath from just clenching my throat muscles so hard. But I'm back. We're back to the original co-hosts, Ty and Eric here, zooming and anchoring here on a nice Tuesday in March. Ty, you did not have lunch today? What's on the menu for you today, buddy?
Yeah, much like Russia, I'm dropping truth bombs, and I didn't eat lunch today. I think I'm gonna make some spicy cannellini bean balls after this.
The fuck,
this is where you
bean balls.
Bean balls, Eric. They're like testicles, but made of beans.
So, is this like a substitute for meatballs?
It's kind of like a meatball, but imagine beans instead of meat. Can you do that for me?
That's a tall order. No pun intended for me, Ty, because I cannot picture that whatsoever. So, like, how does that even come together compositionally? Like, what does that even mean?
So imagine you take a meatball, but it's beans, and then you deep fried it like a chicken wing, and then tossed it in some chicken wing type sauce, like a sweet and spicy. That is what I'm planning to create. So I will mold with my bare hands, much like a sandwich artist. I'm a beanball artist. I will mold it into a perfect sphere. Then I will crust it in breadcrumb, and then I will bake it. And then once my orb is removed from the oven, my crispy orb from the toaster, I'll toss it in some sweet and spicy sauce. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Wow. Holy moly. Ty, I'm coming over for dinner tonight.
You're always welcome, Chef Eric.
Oh yeah, buddy. That's fascinating. I didn't know you could make I didn't know you could make meatballs out of whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild.
I think the problem is
would you call this an impossible meatball?
It's impossibly good.
God damn it.
I think the challenge is that the meatball kind of owns the sphere-shaped food genre. there's not really a lot of sphere-shaped foods, so the meatball is the hero of that genre.
Except for Utah, you're looking like a cute little cake pop from Starbucks.
Yeah, the cake pop is like a different league, man. But the meatball is to sphere-shaped food what like came in music.
Makes a whole lot of sense to me. But Ty, what about the underrated and underappreciated arancini balls? Do you know what
The
those are?
arancini. Is it arancini? Is this cheese?
Great guess. I think it's sometimes filled with cheese, but it is like a risotto ball that's like deep fried.
Mmm. Yes, I've had those, and I really emotionally connect with those. It
Mm-hmm.
reminds me of my other favorite cheese balls, the little blobs of burrata. You ever get some
Ah,
burrata?
yes.
Yeah,
I love a good ball of burrata.
good old blob.
Burrata.
It's not so much a sphere as it is a blobject. Like it is somewhere between a liquid and a solid state, not unlike the tomatoes at
Mm-hmm.
Subway or my post Subway poop.
Mm-hmm. Somewhere in between psychotic and iconic.
Yeah. Bocconcini. There's like the micro penis version of the burrata,
God damn.
the 6 incher.
Mm-hmm. You know, I did put down the word chode in the last Wordle, which got me very close. I think I got
That's
like
out
literally
too.
one letter off.
That's impressive, Eric.
It was impressive. Uh, Still took me 6 guesses, but
I'm assuming you went like chobe, chose. You got to choke eventually, surely.
yeah, exactly. Chore. Yeah, there was a lot. You know, I think chant was my first word, and
Mm.
you know, that really set me off, you know, on the right track. But let's just say, much like a sandwich artist handling some used lettuce, I fumbled the bag tie.
That's okay. I think you need to get a second phone, Eric. If you get two phones, then you double your number of opportunities to solve the Wordle. You got 12 chances then.
That's so accurate. Like, you know, people need to like question the, you know, cryptic text messages that they receive from Wordle users. Like,
Hmm.
if you get somebody that's got like, you know, 2 out of 6 on their Wordle, you gotta like ask them like, yo, did you go incognito and like do it like 7 times? Or, you know, you have to pull it up on your trap phone to like finish it off, you know? There's a
Hmm.
good chance that it was more than 6.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than really blowing it on the Wordle and having to pull out the burner to finish it off.
When you pull off the when you pull up the burner just to complete the Wordle, it's like you that's a special type of person for sure.
Yeah. Damn.
There was a there was somebody like passed out in my apartment lobby the other night, Ty. I think they're okay. They they were taken off in an ambulance. Uh, but I walked into my building and there was someone just like sitting on the ground, and there were like 4 firemen talking to them. And like I don't know what happened because I just got home and I like kind of like skirted past them, and all I
Mm.
overheard was like, "Yeah, I feel lightheaded,"
Oh
and I
no.
just couldn't help but think like, "Damn, like this guy probably like couldn't figure out the Wordle and then like fainted or something."
uh, yeah, if you fudge it hard enough, it'll do that to you. Firemen were needed there.
Exactly. They were called
Well,
on the scene. They
hmm.
was watching from outside. Like his girlfriend was standing outside the building. She's like, I don't know this dude.
Yeah, she's 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out in that relationship, quite literally.
It's like, wow,
It's like
when your
I don't know if I want this kind of drama.
yeah, when your MCM can't get the Wordle, damn,
Well,
your Man
well,
Crush
I think
Monday sucks.
what you've identified, Eric, is that maybe all like we're undergoing a lot of strain as a society right now, and one wrong letter in a Wordle puzzle could put someone over the edge. And that's my prediction for this Putin guy. I think this Putin guy has had a few. I think he like blew a streak or something. I don't. What else would cause such a reaction, an outlash, if you will?
Hmm. I mean, don't ask me. I don't know, Ty.
uh, Hey, I just was looking up some information on Subway's affiliation to Russian oligarchs, which there's a connection there. Subway's got his uh, or plastic glove wrapped hands in every corner of every economy and market in the world.
Hmm. You
There
already
are,
know. You already know Putin. That stinky boy orders like a tuna with like jalapenos or something crazy.
oh, definitely. I'm sure they have some twisted, like, I don't like vodka on tap there or like pierogi sandwiches. I don't know what they eat over in Russia. Western propaganda has only trained me to believe that all Russians are going through like a, a food shortage of some sort. Like they're I
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah. I
but
don't know, Ty.
they're certainly not because there's 448 subway locations in Mother Russia.
That's I'm not sure if that's a lot or a little, considering how vast their land coverage is.
Hmm.
Um, I'm guessing all of the subway locations are concentrated in Moscow or, the major cities.
More than likely, I will tell you that it is an above average amount. Like this is more than just a handful of loose franchises. Like there's
Hmm.
a I'd say there's quite a few sandwich comrades on payroll.
I
You
mean,
can throw me a country. Throw me a country and I'll tell you how many there are relative to Russia.
North Korea.
Well, I don't think there's any in North.
I mean, I think it's on
Yeah,
brand for
there's
both.
not. Sorry, you're gonna have to.
Damn, dude, Pete, Pete's super subs has never failed, never really managed to expand into North Korea, but I think it is actually on brand for both Russia and North Korea to have a subway. And let me tell you why. It's the illusion of control.
I was thinking the same thing, Eric. Their Subway itself is a functioning oligarchy.
Exactly. It's like come on in, like, you can make whatever you want here. Don't worry, like it's your way, it's your sandwich. But in reality, it's like you don't have any choice. You're gonna get the same herbs and cheese, you're gonna get the BMT, and then you're gonna get lettuce and tomato because it's the only thing that ever looks okay.
Hmm. The other reason that Subway and Rush have a lot in common is their patrons are both like blue collar industrial workforce, like a blend of that and like weird guys that look like they're wearing Vetements.
Yeah, exactly. It's like weird guys with like very thin but long beards.
Hmm.
It's like the hair is like very sparse, but it's like thin and coming out very long. And
Hmm.
then they have like their like Acer like gaming PC, like the gaming laptop like on the subway desk, subway table, and they're just like eating a sandwich on top of it.
Oh yeah, they tapped into that free Wi-Fi at the way, and now they're mining some Russian crypto during lunch, or
Do you
or
think
uh, running a programs to sell us some Instagram bots.
100% definitely Instagram bots? Do you think you can buy Subway with crypto in Russia? Probably, right?
Yeah, I would think so. What's the Russian currency? The ruble? Is that what it's called? I think so.
Definitely not euros.
No, it's not the euro. Very observant, Eric. What the rupee? Ruple?
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Red
Rupees are
onion?
red onions, yes.
Yeah. So the Russian red onion seems to be on a trend because of Comrade Putin's decisions.
Hmm. Wow. So much like, the COVID food shortage, Russia is being sanctioned.
Hmm. It's true. So like if I was trying to just get a foot long, I'm just a normal guy in Russia today, and I'm not conscripted. I'm I'm too bony. They don't like any art students in their army.
No,
Uh, so
art's
I'm just
illegal.
arts. Yeah, art's illegal there. Um, I got rejected from my by on my army application because I had pretty plush hands. But I'm in line at Subway. I'm trying to just order a foot long. They won't take my red onion currency. So where am I going to turn to, Eric? Obviously, big boy Bitcoin.
I mean, yeah, it makes a whole lot of sense, but I don't know if like it, Russia seems like the type of country. Yo, Russia's the type of country to ban Bitcoin. Like anything that's like gives the public any sort of control, it's like that's a no go. Like at Subway, like you're limited to these options, and I bet you there's like fewer vegetables in the Russian subways, and you know, they have these like art, quote unquote artists who are like making your sandwich, but we all know art is like illegal there, and
Hmm.
that's why that's the only type of art you can get into. I guarantee if you go for an art degree, slinging footlongs.
That's a good point. You did miss the like Bitcoin 101, Eric. It cannot be banned. Like unlike lettuce or uh, parking lots, these are things we can control ins and outs or access to or whatnot. But Bitcoin, no, that's like the air we breathe, Eric. You can't control that. No one entity can control that.
Hmm. Well, this Bitcoin conversation had to have come back to the pod because I don't think I think we're all fucked. I think Bitcoin is the freshest scam, and it's all these Reddit people who fucked us over once again. I
Yeah.
don't think you're ever going to be able to buy anything with crypto except for fake followers and a Tesla. And do we want either of those things? No.
No, sir. You're probably right. The scam artists over at Reddit, they're not sandwich artists. Well, some of them probably are. Most of them are. I'm sure there's like a very direct affiliation in the Venn diagram of Reddit scam artists and Reddit sandwich artists.
Oh boy. I'm dying over here because like every conversation we have about crypto, it's like you are like forcing it on me. And it'd be really funny if you just like didn't have any crypto whatsoever.
Man, I wish I heard what you said, but my Anchor app just tried to disconnect me. I'm sure it was really funny. You're a funny guy, Eric. I don't doubt that that was funny.
Oh no, you can't hear me?
I can hear you now. I'm back. I'm tuned in. Anchor's trying to
Oh,
censor this conversation. They have Spotify probably neutral Sweden probably has affiliations with big mother Russia.
wow. Big Swede is pushing Putin on this Anchor podcast. That's crazy.
Hmm. Yeah, they're pushing
Um,
capital P Putin.
exactly. Um, okay, well, I say we keep going, and if this episode gets mysteriously deleted, or if, I get shot in the head in the next
Hmm.
15 minutes, then you know what happened. If I, my brains turn to jelly, JFK style, you know what happened.
Yeah, if you fall out your three-story apartment, Chinatown apartment window by accident, I'll connect the dots.
You know I'm not on a third floor, Ty. You already know I'm sub penthouse in this bitch.
I know where to follow the Italian herb and cheese breadcrumbs back to the source. I know what's happening here.
I tell my Uber driver, leave it outside. Leave it outside the door.
hmm Speaking of propaganda, Eric, I
Yes,
want to talk to you about this theory that I have around the subway glass inside the way.
please
You
tell
know
me
how
about
they
it.
always make you look through the glass to see the vegetables, and
Yep.
there's a front there. It's literally a front. They say like, oh, we put this here for hygienics, maybe to protect our sandwich artists from loose bullets during protests outside,
Yep.
from the ugly patrons from spitting on the food or touching it. But I think it's more than that. I think there's some sort of special magic in that plexiglass. Do
I
you
mean,
think that
I don't doubt you whatsoever. What do you think the magic is?
I don't know. I just think like sometimes like change room mirrors at your local Urban Outfitters or at a fun house or a ring light really like can like make the glass contents seem tastier, fresher. And I think like perhaps this glass does the same thing. I wonder if this is like a special blend, the house blend.
Hmm. I see where you're going with this. So much like in the way that um, there's like Instagram versus reality, girls are face tuning and whatnot. They are putting
Hmm.
on bad bitch filters.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Are you telling me that Big Sandwich is putting an IRL filter on their sneeze guard in order to remove the imperfections found on the cucumbers?
I'm just saying what I'm thinking here. Much like our parent podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, we're not
Dad.
afraid to talk about conspiracy theories here. But
Hmm.
I'm curious. I've never been on the other side of the glass, Eric.
Hmm.
Do the sandwich artists see the same rich colors, that vibrant tomato red? Do they see how fresh and
Yeah,
crispy that
yeah,
lettuce looks on some days?
yeah. I mean, they must like, you know, be scared every time they hear like, you know, can I get the green peppers? And they're like, oh man, this guy doesn't even know that they're not green today.
Mm, yeah, like they're in for some disappointment because it never looks as good when you get the sandwich. When they bring it from behind the curtain, hashtag Wizard
Mm-hmm.
of Oz, and reveal your final output, something about it is always a little bit underwhelming. So there's got to
Mm-hmm.
be something happening here. And if this is smart glass, they could even tap into that more. Celebrate that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is interesting, Ty. Um, I think it could be also just like some psychology, like by literally putting a physical barrier in between you and the food. Um, you're less, you have like a distance to cover. You have like a physical barrier in between you. So
Hmm.
whatever's on the other side, like you want it even more because you can't get it. You can't reach
Mm,
in and grab it yourself. That's why buffets are like they look awful until it's on your plate. Like when you
right.
every time you take a scroll to stroll through like a TNT and there's like a open wet market there. Like
Hmm.
it never looks as good as when, you get takeout, even from the same restaurant. So I think the reverse is happening at Subway, where because it's behind glass, it's like the green pepper is always greener on the other side, you know what I mean?
Totally. It's like what we only put things behind glass barriers that we want to protect because they're valuable. Think like a Tiffany bracelet or a Jacquemus bag is always going to be behind a glass wall, a partition.
Hmm. Much
And
like an
that,
NFT,
yeah.
an NFT being protected by its blockchain.
Hmm. And that glass computer screen. Oh, I just wish I could reach into my screen and grab that NFT and hold it
I
like
know.
I hold my foot long.
If only I could just grab waifu straight from my laptop and just cuddle her at night.
uh, I so wish waifu was real.
I know my laptop can get warm sometimes, but not consistently.
Not warm enough. That USB port just isn't quite big enough for you, eh?
Well, I would say it's a perfect fit.
Yeah, so it definitely like changes probably the perception of the vegetable, like the simple act of a glass. But I think they should play into that. I would like to see them techify the glass, Eric, like much like the Lululemon Smart Mirror. If there was a heads-up display in there, uh,
Hmm.
they could put a lot more data in front of you while you're making decisions to both aid the decisions or maybe distract you. Really depends on Subway's approach, but you could even use it to like pinch to zoom in to get a closer look at those soggy cucumbers.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. I would love to have like some level of information. Like they have like a sticker on there that's like all the calories. Like, why
Hmm.
isn't the calorie list like, you know,
Yeah,
much like an Instagram? Just want to like click on it.
I totally agree. Like if like your base model G class has a heads up display in it for the road, that's like the future's already here. It's just not at Subway yet.
Exactly. It's just not evenly distributed.
Exactly. Just
Man,
like my pickles and black olives, they're not evenly distributed.
hi. I had this thought earlier today about restaurants that are like inside of a larger like building or establishment. Like how like you go to like fucking Safeway or something, there's like a Starbucks inside, or like
The cafe at
if you go to
Nordstrom's.
the cafe at Nordstrom, or if you go to IGA, there might be a little Pizza Hut in there. Back in the day is where I got all my lunch from. But um, why isn't there a Subway inside of a grocery store? Think about how like convenient that would be for the logistics team behind Big Way. Say they run out
Mm-hmm.
of tomatoes, you just send the runner out to aisle 4 to grab a couple of tomatoes, chop them up, and there you go. You have unlimited supply to groceries, and you can even like get the organic one once in a while. You know what I mean? And really bless the customers. Why hasn't Subway tapped into this market?
It makes so much sense.
You okay? Bro, are you actually talking?
I'm getting some lag here. Are you picking me up?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry. I think it's my iPhone 13 Pro. I need an upgrade.
Oh
Uh,
no.
this is a brilliant move for Subway because the customer that's walking into the grocery store is already looking to make some decisions in the produce aisle. So they're already in the headspace to make a Subway order. And I feel like that's the biggest barrier to entry Subway is oftentimes
Hmm.
the decision-making process is difficult to commit to.
Absolutely. And also, why are you putting a Starbucks in there? Like, I don't need a coffee to shop. You know what I mean? If anything, a coffee will make me more anxious, and I'll just like
Mm-hmm.
spend like money on the wrong things or whatever, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
always say like, don't shop while you're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
I rest
The
my case,
dummies
Ty.
over at Whole Foods should tap into this.
Hmm.
Like, why do you think I went to the grocery store in the first place? I'm hungry.
Exactly. And you know what? I can't make a proper decision on what to buy, and if I'm like starving, like I'm just gonna end up buying like 3 different types of chips. I can hear you fine. Hello?
Yo, this is really blowing. I'm
Dude,
feeling
what?
blowed right now
Oh no. Why?
because your lips are moving. I see your lips, but I don't hear your voice.
You see my lips chomping down on this foot long 9 grain?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Holy shit,
twisted
Ty.
decision, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I
I
mean, we
feel
could
like
just
this is
end
the.
it.
I mean, we might as well. Much like Dawn to 2, everybody, the second half of this episode is plagued with audio issues. So
Exactly.
listen
At
to
least we
us
got
later on
the,
STEM Player, maybe.
yeah, this episode is exclusive to the STEM player. I think I already made that joke, Ty.
Yep. Sorry. Okay. Well, I'll twist it up. This will catch us on the Kale STEM Player.
I hate that, but sounds tasty.
Thank you. Uh, yeah. I don't know. I don't think my connection is going to get any better here, Eric. I failed to make a connection. It was a mistake to swipe right. I think this is a one and done deal, and we're gonna have to call it.
Well, you know what? At least I hope this segment is entertaining to those who are still tapped in, because you already know I'm not going to go back and edit this episode. Um, Ty is now messaging me in the chat saying he can't hear me. Um, well, this is great. He's nodding. He's saying, "Can you please end the episode because I can't hear you and I can't." Oh, he says he still can't hear me. I don't know. I'm not sure why he's typing to me. I'm fully aware that you cannot hear me, Ty. Um, oh, Ty
Must
has just messaged me. saying that he has a very small dick, and
Fuck you. I must feel like you're talking to your sandwich artist, hey? It's just like in and out conversation, not really listening, not really present.
I know Ty is in and out of in and out of the conversation. He zoned out during my sandwich. He fell asleep forehead first.
We'll still make a beautiful footlong today. That footlong, which is this episode, Eric. But I think I need to dip, but trips again.
That's true. But before we end, just as a little gift for everybody who has made it this far in the podcast, Ty and I do have a special code that we want to share with everybody. This is for a free 1 year subscription of Spotify, and it works for everyone. Even if you already have an account, etc. Just gotta type this in, and the code